5 plus. Right 5 plus, left 6 into small crest, into right 5.
Hi, welcome to First Car Out. This is the podcast where we talk rally. It's as simple as that. My name is Kevin Schmidt, and I'm a rally enthusiast. I've been involved with rallying for a long time now. How many years? I don't know. Maybe I'll remember one day.
4.
Today's not that day.
1, go.
Done a lot of different things within the sport. This is the first time in media side, but I'm very familiar with competing, spectating, volunteering. There's a lot of time in between events where you can't volunteer, so you got to do something, right? Because of that, I wanted to kind of share a story about my favorite rally. It's a special rally, Sno Drift. This is one that can have or have no snow at all, actually. So in some instances, Sno Drift is ice. In some instances, Sno Drift is mud. So you can get really kind of an array of surface conditions that makes for a very interesting event. And for Sno Drift, a particular volunteer function that I like to do is heavy sweep. Many of you guys are familiar with our CavBro Tug stickers and team hugs and tugs, as we're known by some of the competitors. We like to go by thick sweep. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a story based on our experience in this past 2025 Sno Drift. So you're going to hear from the people who get pulled out firsthand, as well as some intermittent discussions. So because we are sweep periods during the competition where you have to hurry up and wait. So with some extra time on our hands, I found myself talking to the competitors and understanding how the conditions look like based on recce and what kind of strategy do they have for this year's event, including tires. And I head off to Parc Expose to ask the team some very interesting questions.
What do you think of recce?
It went pretty well. No, recce was pretty good. The roads look nice, with the exception of like the rutted 2 tracks. Those are always a bit difficult.
Friday or Saturday stages?
Friday. Sorry, it kind of got all mixed together, but I think it was Friday.
The ones that are close to Lewiston?
Yes.
Yeah.
Pretty good grip almost everywhere.
They look pretty consistent.
Yeah, a couple spots I think will ice up, but there's good snowpack. And a few spots that might burn through with like some gravel, but yeah.
So the first few stages were, I don't know. We'll see. Hopefully the all-wheel drive guys pack it down, because even the four-wheel drive in the truck was like, yeah, I need it definitely.
What tire pressures were you at in your truck?
80. I mean, I was told that was from towing, so it was deep uphill, and I'm just like, we'll see.
Hey, Chris fucking Nonak.
What's up?
How you doing?
All right.
What's your impressions?
It's like an actual snow drift,
Yeah.
and like we haven't had one in a while,
It's
so
been a minute.
pretty excited about that.
Yeah, you really get to count your blessings then.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't know, I'm kind of hedging my bets with the tires. We'll see what happens.
Today, the stages today, there's a lot more deep snow. There's going to be a lot of ruts. We're going to be real sideways.
Hell yeah.
What
do you think about from recce conditions?
I never heard of her.
All right.
We don't do the recce thing, so we'll throw it. It'll be good. Look, we're gonna go out, get the first stage in or two, and then we'll make it work. So
We're talking about rally. How many snow drifts is this for you now?
Fourth.
Four.
Yep.
I think this is number 8.
Number 8. So this is your first snow drift or second?
First.
This is your first.
Yeah,
Ooh, we got a
Russ is
newbie
second,
finally.
so-
Yours is
Yeah.
your second. You
Second's
stuffed
our-
it last time, so this is your first opportunity to finish.
Fucking winning, too!
This is Matt's first rally.
Oh, it's your first rally?
This
This
is
was my first rally. It's a good one.
Yeah.
You got winter boots on. That's good, because
Oh,
you
yeah.
might have to push.
We know what it's about. Yep.
Yeah, you guys have fun. Take care.
Thank you.
This is your first snow drift?
This is my first snow drift.
Oh, we got a newbie. This is your co-driver?
This is my co-driver,
Sure
Lars.
am.
All right. What's your name?
Lars Anderson.
How many snow drifts have you guys done now?
This is our 5th.
Yeah, okay.
5th, yep.
Is your 4th snow drift?
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah. You got a pretty good idea for how it works.
Yeah, I've had an ice drift, a kind of snow drift, a poo drift.
Poo drift's a good drift.
And then this.
That's not for everyone though.
I'm glad we're not doing it twice in a row.
Yeah, that would be
Like, I would do it again, but I didn't want it back to back.
First one was
2009, and I think I've missed 3 since then. So do the math on that. I don't know. It's been a lot.
How many snow drifts is this for you guys?
11.
11? You have the same number?
I think I got 10.
You got 10?
Overall, pretty good. I'm running alphas again. I think that's
The wise choice. You have kept them on the wheels, which is pretty good. You haven't RTV'd them to the beat yet, have you?
Is that a thing?
Yeah, do it.
Why?
You just, it won't DB. You can run like.
I've never DB'd.
Just drive hard. This is actually probably a sweet spot. I don't think Blizzaks are the tire anymore.
I think these are the tire. If you're not going to spend money on tractionizing, because tractionized tires, based on stage speeds, they're only good for a loop.
Yeah.
And I can run these the whole weekend with minimal degradation unless there's gravel. The gravel tore them up a little bit, but other than that, they survive pretty good.
And I'm like, I don't know, I'm kind of hedging my bets with the tires. We'll see what happens. I've got tractionized and grooved Blizzaks up front, and then the alphas in the back.
Why do you like to mismatch tires so much?
I actually don't have 4 of those alphas,
That's
or I would
really
be running
good
them. Nobody
Santiago seems to be liking the alphas.
Nobody imported them this year, so I couldn't buy more.
Oh, so there's the batch was the batch, and that's it. For
I
now.
guess I could get them from Europe, but it would be like $300 with
could
air
just get
freight.
Michelin's for
Right,
that much.
like at that point I'll buy like those DC 102 things or something like that.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The Dunlops
that's what all the
You don't
fancy
get that
boys
much
are on.
snow for that though. Those are cool designs.
Right, like I think the first couple cars.
Yeah, they need it.
Like,
Nobody else.
Yeah.
Nobody else.
But I don't know, for us, like at this point in the order, it's going to be a ton of just like bashing
ice.
ruts and, well, no, ice
it
on
really
the
rutted?
ice on the cleared parts, but the parts that weren't plowed are like that deep, big ruts, and they're not straight because it's hunters driving slow, so it's all just like.
So they just froze a bunch of janky ruts in place.
Yeah.
What would you give advice for someone who's first snow drift?
Surviving.
Don't touch the snowbanks.
Either end of the car?
Either end of the car.
Okay.
Unless you're going in way too fast and you're about to stuff it anyway. That's the time to emergency touch the snowbank.
Yeah.
For me, it's a last resort.
Good.
Feel it out. Like, don't go in like, oh, I'm gonna win this, and don't go in like, oh, I have to tiptoe the whole time. Like, you have to learn what all the things are.
Good.
Stuff that looks grippy isn't. Stuff that looks terrible actually has grip.
Keep it on the road.
Yeah. I
Yeah,
do that a lot.
I mean, really, at the end of the day, that's all that matters, right?
Yeah. Oh man,
So,
I've lost dozens of minutes.
you're a lot faster on the road than in a snowbank.
Well
so,
said.
Yeah.
You're fighting for seconds, and all you lose is an hour really easily.
Yeah, you don't want to, and then you're wet. You have wet feet, so nobody wants wet feet.
No, wet feet, wet hands, steam
Yeah.
in the car. Now you can't see. It's no fun.
Exactly.
Usually, I'd ask people what would be advice you give to someone new, and
Yeah.
everyone has said the same thing. Of like, keep it out of the snowbanks.
Yeah.
But
Snowbanks are a resource.
yes,
Yeah, exactly.
You bounce off them.
Exactly.
So my
snowbanks are where you
advice-
can scrub speed.
my advice is survive on Friday, race on Saturday.
And that's it for the stories from Parc Expose. Now we head off into the event itself and get into the action. Everyone is wondering who will win. Is it Subaru or Subaru? Just kidding, nobody cares. So what we're going to focus on is the rest of the stories, because once you delete the first line item, the rest of the story becomes pretty good. I want to be able to walk you through how the event went. And day one yielded some interesting results right away. We had a customer on the first stage. Andrew Layton and his father actually blew the engine of their Subaru, seizing it. We had to sweep it out of the way of the competition cars, but they were gracious enough to understand what had happened and park themselves out of the way, which enabled other competitors to get through and still finish and compete in the stage, even though that the Laytons were out of contention for the weekend. So we caught up with some of the competitors throughout the day.
Second customer of the day. How you feeling?
Whew, glad to be out of the ditch.
Your pants?
It felt like I could have.
You're okay though.
Yeah. Doesn't look like a whole lot of damage, hopefully. What did he say looked bent?
A-arm.
Yeah.
Are you able to start it and run?
I haven't tried yet. I assume so, but yeah.
All right, well, be safe. Good luck.
Yep, thank you.
We'll try again.
Okay, Sno Drift all-wheel drive classes. This is a big spread. You have really the ones to watch are the limited and NA four-wheel drive. This is kind of a really good grouping of class. If you're looking at open, you're really facing Factory Subaru versus 3 other people, and that's not really competition. So let's focus on the rest of the pack. There wasn't a stage that Brandon didn't win, and impressive to see very similar cars finish about 5 minutes later. That's it for 1-2, and then at the end it looks like Gruska had some great pace, but ultimately something happened and the other ones. We don't care about RC2, we don't care about open. The big one is limited 4 and NA four-wheel drive. When we combine these two classes, we got 15 individuals. And leading it is Nick Allen and Martin Brady. And Taylor is short behind him, catching up. So Ely drops out, blew the motor, stage 2. Allen, Taylor, and Jimmy. Pretty good here. And we've seen a lot of the shakeups. Everyone kind of moves up a bit in this stage as we start kind of getting comfortable. Then we move up towards Orchard Shoreline. Allen, Pelzari, Hovenar leading way pretty consistently throughout the event. You have a really good battle taking place between Jimmy and Taylor. They keep swapping positions throughout day 1 and even day 2. So with day 2 kicking off, you have Allen, Hovenar, and Pelzari for your top 3. And the positions stay pretty consistent. You do have a kind of a battle going on between Shirley Dupree and Ivo Dragunov as they're racing around kind of the middle pack there. But no major hiccups until stage win for Taylor. So he was able to outpace Nick and Martin by a full second. So that's pretty good considering it's a 3-mile stage. Mills Meaford, again, a little bit faster, a little more flowy, then ends up we're having kind of a stagnant position here. So it's Nick Allen, Taylor Hovenar, Jimmy Pelzari, looking out for your top 3. And this doesn't change until stage 13. And then it becomes a battle between Sean Donnelly and Camden Sheridan, where there is an issue at somewhere on stage 15, and Taylor drops out and everybody moves up. So a big unfortunate to Taylor. You know, he had won regional last year. Awesome pace this year. Great job for him and Steven. Fortunately, there was like a technical issue that put them out of contention so late in the day. You know, just to miss Bonfire Alley is a big bummer. You know, this one's always a fan favorite, and there was 15 that started, 12 finished. It's only 15 minutes that separate the top 5 across the all-wheel drive cars, excluding open 4-wheel. Open 4-wheel is pretty good. You have Alistair, who's actually signed up for regional, so it's just him and Hayosh battling it out, because otherwise you have Factory Subaru racing against Cameron in the Focus RS, but that's it. There's only a handful of competitors in that class. Great battles there, good spread. It's a mix of new and old, so, and I don't mean just the drivers, the cars as well. And that's it. Two-wheel drive cars, there's 14 in total. Looks like there's a good kind of mix between limited and open, kind of scattered amongst themselves. This is a tough day for Friday in two-wheel drive traction. These are much more icier, much rutted. Chris Sear, Matthew Nikkonen, Henry Tabor, Santiago. So that's your top 4 there. And it's mostly limited leading, as you see kind of the open kind of scattered across. There's a lot of familiar faces here. So it's quite a good turnout. Stage 2, Chris Sear. It's 1-2, Sear, Nikkonen, Santiago. Just about within a minute apart. Which is not bad, all things considered. Move on to Agron Hunter. This is a really icy stage. Lots of turns. You got to be careful. Senior has stepped up into second on this stage. Chris Nonak having a great run as well. And it looked like Santi must have had a spin or something as he fell down a bit just ahead of Chase Blakely there. Imogen's making her winter debut as on her learner's permit with Steve Harrell as the co-driver. So good experience there. Really great someone to have on the silly seat there. Then we rerun Orchard Shoreline. This is a favorite one of mine as you go along the lake there, and there's great spectating as well as very tricky conditions. And Nikinen outpaces Sear on this one, so that was pretty cool. DJ moves up with Bucky 1 position as Tabor slips to 6th. Stage 5, Sage Vondet. Again, Matthew looks like he's getting in the groove. It's him versus Sear. Santi has moved up to 2nd overall in two-wheel drive. So right now through Stage 5, you have Sear, Santi, and Nonak. A lot of position changes going on. Must have been very eventful. And we go into Blue Lake Halberg. So once again, Nikinen on top. Quite some time, considering he almost put a minute on Sear. I mean, this for rear-wheel drive and that much power, and then you got the guy who actually teaches people how to drive rally cars at Team O'Neill. It's always good with the two-wheel drive cars. You have quite of a mix. I mean, it's not just Subarus, thank God, but you have an array of Fiestas. There are some BRZs, which is quite the good kind of two-wheel drive starter car. But not to be forgotten, we do have a Honda entry, the Honda Civic from DJ, and there's even the old Ford Escort. So you have Russell, looked like he got stuck on Stage 6 where we ended up sweeping him, but there still is plenty of action. The Fiat 500 is back, and then we move on to Stage 7, and Santiago has picked up the pace, and Nikinen has now moved up to 2nd overall. So right now it's a good battle for 1, 2, 3, Sear, Nikinen, and Iglesias as they get into Saturday stages. So Saturday kicks off again. This is a lot more faster stages. No surprise here. Nikinen on top. Saw some footage from the spectator areas. He looked like he was hauling super sideways, as he mentioned, but we had our first victim of the day 2, and that was Fabrizio. He snapped an axle right at the spectator area. Probably, as a real downhill icy corner, everyone tends to wash out and go wide. And if he was trying to power out of some deep snow, he definitely was a opposite lock and power, and snap goes the axle. So very common problem in the front wheel drive high power cars. So as we start off the Saturday, we're at Sears in 1st, Nikinen is in 2nd, and Iglesias 3rd. With a few minutes behind Iglesias is the Nonaks. And we move up to Black River Camp 8. And now this is the opportunity where Nikinen has actually overcome Sear for 1st in two-wheel drive. Fast stage, Mills Meaford. This is another good one. Looks like Sear had slipped down in the pace in that one, but this is a bit more of a power course. So Nikinen again takes the place, followed by some of the Fiestas and BRZs, which really lead kind of the first 5. We still don't have a whole lot of competitors who have dropped out. There's still a lot of two-wheel drive. So that gets us right to Old State and Huff. And this was one where we ended up actually sweeping Imogen. So they got a little, just enough high centered and a quick tug, and they were back out to drive out to the rest of the stage and continue on. Henry Tabor actually took 1st overall on this stage, so that was real good on him, and when he reran that stage, we ended up sweeping them. So Tabor's picking up the pace there. We're down to 11 cars through 14 stages. So far, we're still sitting at Nikinen, Sear, and Iglesias for top 3 two-wheel drive cars, with Nonak just behind the podium position there. Stage 15, pretty good there. Bonfire Alley. They actually named this Bonfire Alley. This is typically run as Thunder River before. This stage is shortened. This is the one that is very famously advertised through the competitors and organizers. As well as you can see from some of the footage, there is an immense amount of people. It is a big party. You got to get there 8 a.m. or so, even though they don't run that stage until nightfall, which is roughly 5, 6 o'clock. It's a lot grippier than you think. You've been skating on ice all day long until you get into the spectator corner, which looks like they plowed wide for people to do donuts. I saw a couple of you guys did, and I encourage you guys to do the same. So Nikinen takes that one overall, and with that, he is 1st out of the two-wheel drive cars. So for his inaugural Sno Drift, big shout out to Matthew and Lars with their BMW, out competing some of the more seasoned individuals who's done this event a number of times. And I think arguably people would prefer front wheel drive over rear wheel drive on ice, but I'm not one of those people. checked out some of the launches during the start of day 2 and found ourselves chatting with a couple of the media folks from Dirtfish who you might be familiar with. We asked their opinions on a couple ideas.
I'm interviewing the interviewees. It's fun. They don't expect it. But how you guys doing? It's my turn to ask you a question.
Yeah, what's up?
So, with a snow drift like this, do you miss it?
Always, yeah, of course. Especially, last year was cool. I missed it a little bit. It was cool because obviously I've done summer snow drift and the conditions are like fast, flowy, and you could actually grip up and go flat out here. But seeing the banks here this weekend, a little bit of fresh snow, definitely miss it.
Yeah. Honestly, seeing the snow come down, the grip, this is a scary stage, but it is so rewarding when you do it right.
Yeah, especially this one, those couple jumps that you have here kind of in the beginning, and then that big spectator corner at the end where there's all those people lined. This stage is kind of iconic and just Northern Michigan hardwoods, right?
What do you think was better, before or after the jumps? What do you think is the right call?
I mean, people are still going to hit the jumps, risking the penalty if you know the media is going to be there.
David, I got a quick question for you.
Really?
Are you getting excited for Sweden?
Always. Sweden's a great event. I'm not going.
You're not going, so they
No.
traded you for Colin for this one? You're like, one of you goes to the States.
That wouldn't be a fair trade, would
No.
it? Me for Colin,
As much as I
definitely
love
not.
this event, it doesn't seem like a Sweden. But
Honestly, this is as good as Sweden this year.
well, I got a theory of it's every other year. One year's good, next year's bad, 1 year's good.
Yeah.
So next year maybe it'll be ice, maybe even mud. But the
Yeah.
mud drift was fun, so it's cool to see you guys come and see that.
It's really interesting as well. Talking to Seminoff preferred it last year in the mud.
Really?
Yeah, he said the roads are so much fun.
It's not for everyone. I get mixed feelings from people. They're like, oh, I like it. Oh, I don't like it. I'm like,
Yeah.
you got to embrace it. It's
Yeah.
a lot of fun.
Exactly. I think it was just difficult because it wasn't kind of completely mud.
So how's the battle between you and Jimmy?
He's like a little over a minute behind us.
Whoa, I should say asking him that question. Well, I think he's breathing down your neck, but you just keep doing what you're doing, and we'll see you guys at the finish, okay?
Yep.
You don't want to see us. If you see us, it's a bad day, remember.
Hopefully not. Hopefully not until the end.
That's right.
Doing all right, man.
I almost went off at your corner. It's
Yeah.
icy.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was like, oh, it's Jimmy's corner. It's about to be our corner. About to be our. Okay, we're good. We're good.
So you're saying it's slippy right now there?
It was slippery when we went. We don't see this car here, but it's gorgeous. It looks nice. Have you driven the Fiestas in comparison?
Yeah, we drove Fiestas last year. I mean, it's a whole different beast. It's like a proper race car.
Oh yeah? All right. So the highlighted the problem and circled it blue. For Ford, yeah. But it took you a second. But that's cool. This is neat to see it out there. It sounds good. It's really too clean. So whoever your detail guy is at, the service park, he needs a raise, and my truck's next. Okay.
Fair.
All right, you guys have fun.
Thanks.
Take it easy. How you doing, Evo?
Trying to survive, man.
That's what Friday's for. Today's when you race.
I know, I try, but these snowbanks come out of nowhere.
It's pretty icy. We bounced off a couple in the truck, actually. You guys sweep all the good corners away.
The problem is that it's inconsistent.
Yeah.
That's my problem. Like a couple years ago when it was all ice, all of it is ice.
Yeah.
Well, here, like in this specific stage, the last time we ran it, grip,
Gone.
no grip.
Yeah.
And
It
that
goes
what
right to
gets you.
brown pant moment pretty quick.
Yep.
Oh,
So,
man.
We're not at the speed I want us to be, but it is what it is.
It's the start of the season. You guys gonna commit to a full one?
No, I can't do a full one.
Just do one or two. You can do this in LSPRs, my guess.
Couple races, yeah.
Yeah.
2, maximum 3.
Oh man.
When
Well,
is your next time in a car?
I gotta fix it still. I'm hoping to do this next year, but if it's conditions like this, we're not gonna get this 2 years in a row. So it's like
No.
maybe I need to wait till 27, and I'll do like
get it
a.
ready and just judge it when it
That's
comes
right.
close.
I mean, I'm only 2.5 hours south of here, so this is like my home rally.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Maybe
That's
you
good.
can find some roads to practice leading up to the rally.
It's funny, actually.
Good luck with your build.
Thank you, sir.
Hope
You guys
to
have
see you back in
fun.
the car. Thank you.
Hopefully you don't see us behind you on stage.
I hope so. I don't want to.
No, you keep it up. You're doing
Thanks,
fine. How was yesterday?
Started rough, and then honestly, after that, we were just like, let's finish the day, and it ended up working out for us. So
Excellent. So today's stages are faster, flowier, more fun. You got a little bit of ice, but I think there's some grip coming down from.
yeah, excited about that.
So when you rerun the Friday stage, or when they kind of loop them together,
Oh, that's
hopefully
right.
you'll have some more. Otherwise, you guys are gonna be pulling. You guys aren't going reverse direction, are you?
Yeah.
Okay, I should ask the co-driver. I don't know why I'm asking him.
It's reverse through those. I forget which two, but yeah.
Ooh, uphill. And I bet we're gonna be pulling some two-wheel drive cars up.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. It's miles per mile, baby. All right. Well, sunny side up. You guys have fun.
Thanks, man.
Take care.
It's good to see you.
Yeah, I'll see you around. How's the race going, gentlemen?
It is going so good right now.
Yeah? How many hands have you guys touched?
Bonfire Rally, which was our biggest goal.
Good.
Yeah.
That's a good one.
Yeah.
It's supposed to be kind of crazy. We were hearing on the radio there were like 4,500 people, but I don't think they know how to count. But if your notes say spectators, ignore it because it's going to throw your notes off. Just don't call it called spectator because I think there's just going to be people everywhere. And then you're going to be like, well, is this the left or is that the right? You know?
I don't care.
Good.
As long as they're not standing in the road too close to the car, we're gonna run it.
Fuck yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they got, yeah.
Okay.
You should have counter flares. Do you have countermeasures?
I wish we did have countermeasures. Oh my God, you remember that video game?
No.
No, I'm old.
That's okay.
You guys having fun in Sweep? Have you got a lot
dude,
of
we had a lot of customers. Yeah, it's been great.
You had a lot of customers? Did Tina give a lot out her gift bags?
No, there's still some more, so don't do anything stupid.
Yeah, we need to get to the end of this.
And for this segment, I like to call WRC Previews. You know, this is not just North American Rally. There's a lot of us here that do follow the World Rally Championship, and I want to be able to have some engaging discussions in the future. It's still pretty early, and it will likely air after the results for Sweden, but it was recorded before Sweden. My predictions for WRC Sweden: 1, 2, 3. I'm going with Evans, Adrian Formeau, and Kalle Rovanperä. So we'll see how they perform. And when it comes to the wild card position, this is someone who may either take any one of those spots or have some outstanding performance. Someone I'm going to nominate as Taka. Takamoto Katsuta had done really well last year at WRC Sweden, showed great pace on a couple crash Suta moments, ended up taking him out of contention, and you can tell the frustration in his eyes. So it's going to be a good turnout. We've got Sesks as well. I do see him leading the Fords, but I really don't see the Fords in podium position, unfortunately. This will be very interesting to see, given that it's a new tire, it's snow after Monty. Granted, they're studs, but this is really the only time that they have. So you'd seen some of the drivers actually compete in local rallies and work on some of their winter driving capabilities. And so with the calendar being Monte Carlo, Sweden, where we have ice and snow, and then we do a safari rally before we start hitting the gravel rounds. Stick around. We'll see what happens. I think it's going to be a great rally. And out of the Fords, yeah, I'm going with Sesks, Josh, Munster, Serdeus. So big lineup. We have a whole lot of cars, a whole lot of teams for Sweden. Everyone has a stacked house. There's going to be some good battles. This is going to be one that you wanted to watch. So hope you get a chance to see it. Very funny to not see Ogier on the list, although we'd already have a packed team. You know, after taking the win at Monty, he's like, I don't need to do any more snow. Keep me on the pavement, and I'll earn some points for the team. So we'll see him in a mix of gravel and tarmac races as the season progresses. But that's it for WRC 1. I think the other next battle that we have is WRC 2. I still don't understand the point system in this. I think this is a little broken. If someone can explain to me why certain events they don't collect points and what the strategy is behind that, I think is really taken away from the battles that could have been even greater like last year. But it was Pyari who did win last year and has moved up to WRC 1, but since he has kicked Ennie off this right seat, I don't think we really care about him anymore, truth be told. So Solberg is going to go for a hat trick, 3 in a row for Sweden. I think he can do it. He has showed incredible pace, incredible consistency. I think he's doing a slightly different approach than Kalle, and both being grown up in the sport. It's going to be really interesting to see kind of the way that the two have progressed. You see Kalle being in a rally car since age 7. I don't know when Solberg got into the car, but you can tell Kalle has been this mature rallyist for doing rally for 20 years practically, it feels like. But Solberg has been going up through the ranks, and I think he's showing a great pace last year with Skoda, which won him the Toyota for the Yaris Rally 2 car for this year. And not a doubt that he's going to take the win in Sweden and it's going to be an interesting battle through the rest of the year. I don't think we see quite, there's not Rosell, there's not Grazen, there's not some of the other more notable WRC2 combatants, but it will be Solberg against a variety of Scandinavians. So you're going to see a lot of people who are familiar with the roads, familiar with the style, definitely used to driving on snow. Sweden's always a fan favorite, plenty of jumps, crashes, and we're going to do maybe the next iteration of this podcast. We'll look to see what is the next upcoming rally, and we'll get some of your feedback. What do you think? Who's going to be 1, 2, 3? Who's your wild card? And we'll take it from there. So it's the end of this segment. We'll move on to the others. Okay, for the rally in the 100-acre wood, we have 65 entries. This one's a fast one, a lot of wide stages. There's some water crossings potentially. They've had even snow a couple of times. Let's see if Connor Martell can win any stage versus Brandon this event. It's quite a large limited two-wheel drive entry. Kind of a good mix between national and regional. 14 cars. Looks like Sear being the fastest seated out of all of the limited cars by a 20-mile-per-hour speed factor difference compared to Henry and Mark Tabor. However, we do have the Acura factory team, factory sponsored, let's say. That 2023 Acura Integra is a good-looking car. They've got some good battles. Should expect a pretty solid performance from him as well. A couple newbies, too. Looks like there's a couple people without any speed factor. So you do have, looks like Zach Kitts in the 94 Integra. You got about a dozen cars here in open two-wheel drive. So, I mean, a lot of these classes are pretty big. Once you get in the classes around like 10 cars per class, you get some good class battles. It's not like one person's got 8 minutes on the next guy and the guy beneath them's got 4 minutes. You can get a lot more closer. People are then pushing. You actually have some really good competition instead of people just swimming in their own lane and just doing okay. So this is a great event to kind of bring out the competition spirit, I think, amongst the competitors. And these are fast, flowy roads. They're a lot of fun, but they can get you. Two-wheel drive. We've got Hooper back. It's good to see him back out there again. Hopefully it's a strong season for him. You have quite the open two-wheel drive. I got to say, this is a dream team lineup we're looking at. You've got Hooper, Burke, Mika, Nikkonen, Levi, Tim O'Neill, Mike Hurst, Brad Morris, and Richo Healy has stepped up from the limited Lexus to the open Lexus. So, and Scott Parrott, he's brought the rally truck down from Minnesota. So I know he's been working real hard on that, so I'll be eager to see how well he does, and I think he's going to enjoy some of the rougher stages where that truck's just going to float right by. And Kyle Williams in open for a 97 Ford Aspire. A little unsure on why it's open, but I got to tell you, I'm curious to see the result either way. Now it looks like someone is renting one of the Peugeot front-wheel drive cars. So, names I don't recognize, nor can I pronounce. Looks like the Carlbergs. We'll stick it at that. And Andrew Cowan has got a 1990 Jetta VR6. I wonder if this is the same one that's been passed around a few of our rally friends. So, maybe we'll get the chance to ask him. Just kidding. I'm not going down to this event. But I will keyboard warrior it for you. Don't worry. And then open four-wheel drive. You've got Team Subaru, followed by Patrick Morrow. Hopefully he doesn't get penalized for putting pump gas in his car again. Everyone loves the Sonic, especially with the NASCAR livery. Cameron Steele in the RS. I'm glad to see the thing together. I know the Focus RS has been kind of a massive letdown in terms of rally car, but there's enough people driving them around, hard parking them, that they're bound to end up rally cars one day, regardless how much work it takes to get them to compete. And we look towards the Rally 2 class, which is 5. There's 5 cars. So we get Alistair versus Roberto. Excited to see the Audi out there. That's going to be great. Ryan Booth is always kind of flip-flopping between, two-wheel drive, four-wheel drive. His Escort is extra pretty, but I could see why he wants to bring the Skoda out for this. And then followed by Javier, who's in another Ford Fiesta, and leading this class is Grutska and he is in the Hyundai. So this one is pretty cool. This class, I mean, there is only 5 cars. If we can get it to like 10, I think you'd see some really great battles. But at the moment, we have 5, and there's 3 different manufacturers. So that's far more than we can say about some of the other classes. All right, moving on to the limited 4-wheel drive class. This has about 15 entries as well. Out, looks like Nick Allen and Martin Brady are back in their Ford Fiesta again. Pellizzari is co-driverless currently, but we'll see that seat get filled in the next couple weeks here. Well, he's going to have to because the rally is in the next few weeks here. Sean Donnelly in the Clio Rally 3. So this was a great looking car. You know, the pictures show something, but actually when you see it up close in person, it's a good looking car. Making the continue on, Robert Dupree did pretty well in Sno Drift, kind of mid-pack. Looks like he picked up a different co-driver for this event. And then moving down to the sister class to limited 4-wheel drive is naturally aspirated 4-wheel drive. Here we have Ryan Rethy. Ryan has actually participated in a lot of the Missouri events before and does quite well, so I think he will be suited just fine for this event. So a little bit smaller class, limited 4 versus naturally aspirated 4. Seems to be much more drawn towards limited 4 for this event. I don't know why. No, so it should be good. What else we got? Yeah, open 2-wheel drive is going to be the one to watch. It does look like Martinez Samsonas, the Samsonas guy, is coming. That E36 hauls. I know he was definitely in the top 3 overall last time he run it, but like much of that team's problems have been finishing rallies, not starting them. So always a lot of technical issues, but this is what happens when you drive a complex car. Either way, really excited to see them get out, hopefully finish and kick some ass, because to see that thing sideways and that straight 6 just humming down the road is going to be really good. So this is going to be a power event, so you do have quite a lot of people with quite a lot of power. So good luck to Kyle out there. I don't know how open the Aspire is, but he'll need every horsepower he can manage to keep up with them in some of these 300-400 meter straights. So there's a lot of drag race sections in between a series of flowy corners, and then some stages are extra tight. I know I am a fan of Southern Loop or Loop Southern, depending which way you run it. Not everyone is, and I don't expect you to agree with me, but you need to at least get out and try it. Oh, yeah, to open 2-wheel drive. That's all I want to watch. That's all I really care about right now. It's quite a big field. That's 14, so we're pretty even around 10 to 14 cars per class. You know, limited is out in force, 2-wheel drive and 4-wheel drive. NA 4-wheel drive is kind of lumped into that limited. They're more of like an add-on. Open 2-wheel drive is about 14, and there's just a handful of cars for open 4-wheel drive, and a little bit more than that in the Rally 2 class. This should be good. I hope everyone has fun. Good luck. Be safe. Enjoy. Drive fast, take chances. Take care. Hope you guys enjoyed listening. Next time we'll do some driver interviews. And remember, do one thing a day. If your car is on jack stands, it is a project. Cars are meant to run, drive, stop, and turn. So stick around. We'll be back for more.
Overcrest into right 5 plus.